One day I had an epiphany. I thought about all of the women that had gone before us, fighting for our rights. And I thought to myself, imagine what they could have done with their skills and talents if they lived in a world where inequalities didn't exist. When these women were younger, what did they dream of becoming, and what hopes and dreams did they have to forfeit because the world they lived in wasn't conducive for them to make their dreams a reality? Even though we have seen improvements over the years, it still feels like we are simply being drip-fed our rights, enough to pacify us, but not enough to liberate us. And so at times, our freedom feels so fragile. After all of the years of hard work, we are not in a position yet where we can wholeheartedly say that equality for women has been achieved. I know that it won't happen overnight, but I want to make sure that no girl has to forfeit her dreams and fight for the rights that she should have been given at birth. It is in our collective action that systemic change can be achieved. That is why I created the Women's Association.
Oh, we could fly. Oh, we could fly.
So I started a program called the Executive Challenge in 2020. And basically the idea of the program is to give girls access into organisations from as young as 11. So we work with girls from 11 to 18, and the whole premise of the program is to give them access into a world that they wouldn't have had access to ordinarily. Also, it's to make the access meaningful, and so we work with them where we introduce them to executives, so they might meet CEOs of organisations or other leaders.
Would you rather go back in time to relive a memory or go 20 years into the future?
Have you seen how old I am?
They also get mentored for 6 months, and then they get the work experience, which is what we're doing here today. And it's really important because a lot of the girls we work with have never had work experience, internships, anything. And so a lot of their understanding comes from either teachers, peers, parents, or even films, TikToks. And this gives them more of an in-depth view into what the working world looks like.
Something like this would have benefited me tremendously when I was younger, just because, like I said, I had a lot of confidence issues. I think I was really interested in reading and writing from quite a young age. I didn't know quite what to do with that. So I think something like this would have been really great, just to sort of figure out what it was exactly about writing that I enjoyed doing, or sort of what sector I wanted to go into.
I found the experience of speaking from executive to now really interesting, because I was able to connect with somebody that I normally wouldn't. And it was great to listen to their experiences and what advice they had to give me.
I encourage other girls to get involved in things like this. I think it's where we can see ourselves represented. I think being around a group of girls similar to me, with similar backgrounds, similar interests, that want to learn and have insights to certain careers, I think that's very important.
What we do in the market is not going to change, but the people around the table that need to be part of that do need to change. So for me, the Executive Challenge was personal from a perspective of the future, but also something that's critically important for us to ensure that we support economies and governments all around the world.
By showcasing the individuality of the different kinds of women within the workplace, there's something that every single person can relate to some way, and it reinforces the idea that there's more than just one way to success.
It can also give people who are less confident a bit of guidance to achieve what they really want to do in life, instead of pursuing something that, for example, like their parents really want them to do, even if they really don't like it.
If there's anyone that is looking up at other female figures in their career doing well for themselves and, looks at me as like an inspiration, I think that's amazing. I think there needs to be far more, females in the industry in general in society spotlighted. Men always get the spotlight, so why not?
I think it's great to be put forward to, and if you can do anything that would inspire any future generations, and just generally highlighting women at all levels is a good thing. Just raising the female profile.
We were kind of always told that you're a lawyer or you're a doctor, or that's kind of it. And I that obviously isn't the case, and the more women I meet, I realise that. So it means a lot to be spotlighted against so many different women doing so many different things, and hopefully there's people watching that are inspired by it.
I love that the Women's Association are helping young women to realise that they can have a successful life, a successful career, that they can study, that they can learn, they can go out there and just be whoever they want to be.